Hey, what's up, horror fans, horror freaks, geeks, nerds, dweebs, turds, basement dwellers, mouth breathers? Welcome to the R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast. I'm your host, Josh James, and Wazell has a night off tonight, so I brought in a ringer. You might know him from a podcast called The World Class Bullshitters. And also, he worked on the production of Strip Club Massacre. Nick Utam is on the show tonight. What is up, dude?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just happy to be here. Happy to interview Jim. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Thanks so much for just showing up. Because Wazell's been busy with his job and couldn't make it, and I was really super bummed. I was like, who could it fit in on the show? And I thought about you because you have a huge fandom for horror, and you like what we do and stuff. And I figured, you know what? We'll just invite you on as a guest interviewer. And, so here you are, man. So thanks for coming on.
Dude, I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fucking exciting, man.
Yeah, and so our special guest tonight is one of the probably best known directors around Hollywood. He's been at it since the early '80s. He's directed such movies as Chopping Mall, Return of Swamp Thing, Sorority House Massacre 2, Cheeler Massacre, the Munchies franchise, the Ghoulies franchise, all kinds of cool shit. And we're really lucky to have him. Tonight's guest is Jim Wynorski.
Hey, Josh. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, cool. I have to add Nick in real quick, so just hang on 1 second, all right?
All right.
Nick.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. And Jim?
That's me.
All right, cool.
5
Hello?
0 2 6 4 9
sorry. Hang on.
7 7 1 2 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
This is going to go to my voicemail. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, Skype.
You're off to a great start, guys.
I know, right? Somehow Skype decided to call my cell phone as well as yours, but just ignore that. Anyway, so we just did a fan commentary for Chopping Mall, which is one of my favorite horror films. I just love that movie so much. It's so much fun. And
thank you.
Yeah, great job. It's such a fun sit. Can watch it multiple times in one day. But so you came across my Facebook profile, and essentially I just added you on Facebook. I was like, hey, I wonder what this guy's up to. Maybe I can, keep in touch and see what projects you're working on and stuff like that. And then one night I was just like, hey, I wonder if you'd do an interview. And so I sent you a message. It was literally that simple. And you said, yeah, sure. I was like surprised. I was like, wow, this guy, I'm sure you're very busy. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate you being here.
I'm lazy. I'm a lazy fuck, Josh. I got to tell you.
Dude, don't you make like 2 movies a year or something? I mean, you've always stayed busy.
I've done 3. I've done 6 a year, but
holy shit.
I like sitting around and bullshitting just like you guys. So
right on.
Here I am. Then we got Nick and Josh. Okay, so what's your first question?
Let's see. Well, one thing I noticed is that you and I definitely have something in common, is that we both love the hot chicks. Who
doesn't?
I know.
Who doesn't?
There you go.
I'm just
what real man doesn't?
Exactly. Yeah, man. But they just seem to
look at all my movies. Okay?
I know exactly. I'm definitely stating the obvious there, but just in case nobody knows about your body of work, I mean, you work with some of the most beautiful women in the industry, actresses and porn stars alike. You ever
on purpose?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it's the movies that you come out with are definitely a lot of fun to feast your eyes on for sure. But I want to ask you a question, an edgy one right off the bat. You ever hook up with any of the actresses or porn stars on the set?
Me?
Yeah. You're the director. You're the man about town.
Well, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure you guys can guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.
Sorry, I went to lead in strong with a nice edgy question, but
well, I have gone out with many of the actresses. What is that?
Just ignore that. We're
I
good.
think his phone finished recording the voicemail.
Am I being am I being censored? What is that?
No,
You have
no,
reached the
okay.
maximum time permitted for recording your
There
message.
you go.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press
Oh my
2.
God.
To erase and re-record, press 3.
Nice. Yeah, we're running a professional show here. Let's get
I
back
just
to
pressed.
If you're
I just
satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message,
Oh my
press
God.
2. To erase and re-record, press 3.
I just pressed 3 and nothing happened. Okay.
Shit, man. I'm sorry that happened. Oh well. Let's
if you're
move on.
satisfied with the message,
Oh my
press
God.
1. To listen to your message, press 2. To
Well,
erase
somebody
and
fucking
re-record,
press a
press
button.
3.
I pressed 1. I'll press 2 now.
Sorry you're having trouble. Your message has been sent.
And
Please
we have
try
a fourth
again
member
later.
on the show
Goodbye.
now. There
All
we
right,
go.
good. I think it's over.
Okay,
There we
it's
go. All
good.
right.
Okay.
all right.
Okay. Let's jump back into questions and forget that ever happened. What's the difference between B- movies and softcore pornography?
What's the difference? This sounds like a Jeopardy question. Okay. It's all, come on. Softcore sex movies. I've done a few
Mm-hmm.
for Cinemax, and they have their rules. They have what they want, and I give them what they want. Now they've changed again recently, and they don't want that stuff anymore. So I stopped making it.
Jeez.
But I enjoy making those movies. It's a lot of fun, but I enjoy making the other movies too. They're a lot of fun.
Do you have a preference? Do you prefer like just kind of making regular like story-driven films, or maybe something that's a little bit more risque, or is it just? I mean, do you feel like
each movie I do, I put my heart into it, and I try to make it for the audience that I'm trying to hit. Sometimes I'm trying to hit family. Sometimes I'm trying to hit you guys, and sometimes I'm trying to hit a wide range of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, each movie is a different story. And I still try to put what I like in those movies, because what I like, I believe a lot of other people like. So I attempt to put, a good story, some humor, some hot chicks. And, I've even put hot chicks in the Disney movies. Okay.
Right.
But, I had Lonnie Anderson in Munchie, and I had, Leslie Ann Down in the second one, and, and Jennifer Love Hewitt was in one of my Christmas movies. And, it's a lot of fun. And, you get to meet a lot of different types of people.
Yeah, I think wasn't one of your films Jennifer Love Hewitt's first movie?
She did her first 2 movies for me.
Oh, wow.
First movie she ever did was called Munchie, and she was so good in that I wrote a film for her called Little Miss Millions, or sometimes it's called Home for Christmas, and that's sold to USA Network.
Okay.
And so she was in 2 of my movies. Then she caught on, and I couldn't afford her anymore. But
Right.
I'm still friends. I'm still friends with her, but
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I'm waiting for her. She's already gone up to the ladder. I think she's coming down now, so maybe I'll get to work with her again.
Maybe
I usually catch him on the way up or the way down.
Yeah.
So
maybe she can be in Witches of Breastwick 4 or something.
no, I don't think so.
But she has been doing some more risque stuff lately. I know she did like a made-for-TV movie and also a series. I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of about her just sort of being a working mom, and then she ended up working as a prostitute or something. And,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah.
It went off right. It went right off.
Yeah.
Because that show promised a lot and didn't deliver. So, and if you promise something like that, you got to deliver a little bit. That show did not deliver. So, I saw one episode, I think, and I said, that's enough of that.
No, it was strange because they did a TV series and they also did like a made-for-TV movie about the same thing, and it was. I think I watched one of the two, and I was like, "Huh, well, she's taking her career in a different direction. Maybe she just feels like breaking the mold a little bit or something."
I don't know. I heard she got kicked off Criminal Minds for some reason.
Oh, jeez.
And she did one season of that and then departed. So I don't know what. I don't know what's going on. You know, I wish her a lot of success. I love working with her.
Absolutely, she's very talented. Nick, you got a question you want to throw into the mix?
Yeah. I was wanting to ask. You talked about Cinemax earlier. Cinemax is kind of like, we grew up with it and called it Skinemax and things like that. And you talked about, you said recently the rules have changed and they don't want to go that route anymore. Do you know why or what they're trying to achieve now or what the deal is?
Because every 7 to 10 years they get a new management.
Okay.
And the old idiots are replaced with new idiots. And the new idiots think that they wanted to shuck the old Skidamax name, so they said we're not going to do that stuff anymore.
Jeez.
So they got rid of it, and now they're on to something new. But when they got rid of it, I stopped making those movies.
Yeah. Well, one thing I see.
They were.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was just going to say, one thing I've picked up on you, kind of looking at your career and the things that you've done, is that you're kind of like a survivor in the industry, where you've kind of found like a little niche for yourself, and you have a versatile set of skills where you can go up one way or down another way, and just keep making movies, and you have an ability to get things done on time, efficiently, and so you've made like so many films, and you've spanned like 30 years. So.
I counted them up the other day. It was like 169 movies.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
oh my God!
Look up your resume on IMDb.
List. Yeah, it's a friggin' list and a half.
Yeah, it's like a Foot Locker list.
If you count the people, the shows I've directed, produced, or written, it's about 169.
Wow.
Let's call it 170, because there's a couple in there that I didn't take credit for.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I know you've worked under a couple pseudonyms before, like a couple nom de plumes.
Yeah, but sometimes I've gone in there and helped other films, get released, because the directors that did them, were clueless. So I come in and I fix them.
Yeah, I worked with the director that was clueless, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, it's if you're just working for on a day rate, that can add up, and I usually have 10 to 12, maybe sometimes 14 days to make a movie. I was doing the erotics for 2 days in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So,
gee.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It seems like when you're making a movie that fast, if you have to do a quick turnaround. You have to really love being a filmmaker to do that sort of process over and over and over again. I mean, is that what drives you? Is it just a love of filmmaking, or is it?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Whether I'm making an action movie or a drama or a western or a horror or one of the late night, sexploitation movies. Each of them has their bonus points, and I really have a bad time making a movie. There's a couple of movies where I hated the actor that was in the lead, and but that's few and far between.
I think that's really any kind of creative project that you work on. It's like, you're always going to bump into somebody, you're going to bump heads. Maybe you just don't gel. I mean, personality-wise, it's just human nature.
Oh yeah,
but you have to persevere.
I've had 3 or 4 actors that were impossible.
Oh, okay.
And I never want to work with them again. One's dead, so for sure I don't have to work with them again. But but otherwise, I've had some go-rounds with some actresses,
right?
That thought that their shit didn't stink, and I countered a lot. It was like really terrible, and I won't say who they were, but their initials were Tanya Roberts and Jennifer Rubin. So,
Yeah, I noticed that you're vocal. That's really cool that you kind of like wear your, you know, your opinions about things and people kind of on your sleeve, and you're just really like honest about it. That's, I think, a good way to be. And I was like, why not? I mean, if somebody was a dick on the set, then why not call them out on it?
well, you know, these women gave me a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and my lawyer says the only thing I can really say is I hate their guts.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say I hate their guts. There's nothing
Really?
libelous about that.
True.
Yeah. Have you ever had a movie like, have you ever had a project or a movie completely fall through like in the middle of production or anything where you're like, you know, actresses have quit, actors
Yeah,
have
I
quit,
did.
things like that?
I did.
Okay.
One of them is in a vault,
Oh.
and I'm hoping that vault stays locked up forever. And the other one came out in Thailand or something like that. It was like a movie where the producers were stealing money, and I was in the Philippines, and it was a big mess. And I said, this thing's never going anywhere because they were stealing money. And
Oh man.
sure enough, the only place it ever played was Thailand or something like that. So,
Jeez.
you know, that's good because no one gets to see it, you know. Unless you're in a brothel in Thailand, you're not going to be seeing this movie.
At least, you know, there's probably a lesson to be learned from any kind of disaster movie that comes together or whatever, you know. At least you know the warning signs or the pitfalls in the projects that you work on.
Well, you know, after 170 flicks,
yeah, you got it down to a
it's bound
science.
to happen. It's bound to happen a couple of times.
Oh,
But, you
yeah,
know,
definitely.
Thankfully for my career, most of the films got released, and most of them did well. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's some really great movies in your catalog, man, and I enjoy them so much. One of them being Chopping
thank
Mall, I
you.
mentioned before. Is it? I've been hearing all these rumors going around the web that they're going to try to do a remake without robots, and I'm like, what do you think about, you know?
It's not going to happen, sir.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
So that's just strictly rumor then.
I own part of the rights,
Mm-hmm.
and they never approached me. And if you don't approach me, you ain't making it.
Yeah.
And I don't want it remade.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's perfect the way it is, and they're also talking about making it
Someone's
without
going to have to
robots
come up
in
with someone else is going to have to come up with a really nice, big, fat check.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can go do whatever they want.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Nice.
But until then, screw them. I don't want to,
Yes.
you know, that's a nice film. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun film, and everybody likes it. And I don't think, you know, it's like remaking a film like that 30 years later. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work
No,
because
it's not gonna work.
it was a certain time. There's no malls anymore.
Nope.
Crying out loud.
True.
Mm.
Yeah. Not at least, especially not the way they were back in the 80s. But, you know, that's a good leading
Right.
question to, like, what do you think about Hollywood making all these reboots and remakes and whatnot? It's
I think
kind of.
most of the studios are scared shitless,
Mhm.
and the only thing that they like is something they know they're imitating. I mean, you know, every other film seems to be a superhero film, and I'm sick of those.
Right.
I really am. And I went to see this new Solo movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big, you know, bombastic nothing. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, how do you make a Star Wars movie without including the Force?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's no mention of it in the movie. No
Right.
mention of it. It's a heist movie, and
Right.
the kid they got to play Han Solo is, you know, wasn't ready yet.
Mm-mm.
Maybe never will be. And
Man, you nailed it right on the
Why?
head. That's for sure.
Yeah, there were a lot of
Yeah.
problems with him, man.
well, yeah, and you know, he gets away, but his girlfriend doesn't. And then his girlfriend turns up 60 zillion miles away in the charge of a villain. and at a party that he goes to. What are the chances of that? Okay, the astronomical.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But she got caught, and then suddenly she's in captivity with this villain at a party 60 zillion miles from Earth. And I said, that's taking happenstance to the max. And I said, this doesn't make much sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked away saying, well, and I was in a theater I had 10 people on the opening night.
Oh wow!
And I said, this is a bomb.
Oh, absolutely.
10,
yeah.
Had 10 people on opening night at 8:50.
Jim, they should get you to direct a Star Wars film.
Oh God, no! That's a dream.
That would be a nice big fat check.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think they should stop.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It's
God, yes, they should.
They're so creatively bankrupt. They don't really have their finger on the pulse of what that original trilogy was all about, and
no, they don't.
Kind of lost.
I mean,
the second bunch with that Lucas director were all stinkers.
Right.
And then JJ did the last one, not the last one, but the new trilogy, and I thought that was okay, kind of a remake of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was awful. The part 8 part 8, I think it is.
The Last Jedi, yes.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
I was looking at my watch during that, and I said, someone's going to have to tell me it's really great before I go to another one of these things. It's a waste of money.
Are you a big Star Wars fan? Or are you a fan of the series at all?
Yeah, I like the first 3 kind of, and I love the first one. I love the second one. The third one's kind of half a movie, but yeah, and they're all the fun movies,
right?
And and I don't have the toys or the boxes of the characters. I don't have any of that stuff. I just have a liking for those first 3.
Mm-hmm.
The second 3, I hate, and the new ones, I could take or leave. And I think Disney now is getting the idea that they're fucking up. So because they lost money.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, because people aren't really happy with it, and even then, like the kid that got for Solo, they had to get an acting coach. They fired 2 previous directors before that to get Ron Howard in. Like, it was kind of a shit show. The whole process of making that movie, like it was ridiculous.
Well, I wish them no success at all.
Wow.
Because they don't have the wherewithal to do it right.
Well,
no, they don't.
If anything, they should definitely just slow down and craft a good script and, listen to the fans, maybe feel things out a little bit, but they're just churning these things out 6 months. It's too big of an IP for people to,
Well, I'm on to the next thing,
Right, exactly.
So, I don't think they're going to have another Star Wars movie for a year or so. So that'll be good.
Yeah, I think Part 9 is slated for the end of 2019, is what they've said so far.
I can't wait. I can't wait to miss it.
It's good to hear you say that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the new ones either.
All right, so enough Star Wars shit. What else do you want to know?
Well, somebody has been in the news a lot lately. What do you think about this whole Stormy Daniels thing going on right now? It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I was glad she was in that movie because it made a lot of money, and is now making money again. And apparently she's, demanding lots of extra money now, and she got kicked out of Chicago. I saw that in the papers today. She was at a strip joint that they supposed to open on Thursday and close on Sunday. Well, she opened and closed on Thursday. So I kind of laughed about that. And let me tell you a story. She's in the first one. She was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
She complained about having to drive to the set. And I said, Stormy, everybody else here drove to the set. What's the big deal? You get in your car and you go to the set. And she, kind of complained the whole time, but not to the point of being obnoxious.
Oh, that's good.
And then I brought her back for Witches of Westwick 2, and on the first day, because I didn't get to her in the first hour of shooting, she got in her car and drove away.
Oh wow!
And that's
Jeez.
that's the last
So,
time,
that's-
that's the last time I saw her. And I didn't pay her for that day, and I said, "Fuck you, Stormy." And
Oh, damn.
and I upgraded one of the other girls, and
Mhm.
we still shot the movie.
So she's
But
a little
it
bit
was
of
kind
a prima donna situation going on there.
Oh yeah, she's got that prima donna thing, and she just turned like 46 or something, like 45.
I mean, she's taking
and
this negative with the whole thing with Trump and everything and turning it into a lucrative adventure
Yeah.
for herself. I mean, I got to give her a little bit of credit for that. I mean,
Yeah, well, but
whatever.
now she's trying to appear at these strip joints,
Mhm.
and apparently there were a lot of people disappointed because she came out and did like a 12-minute show,
Mhm.
Oh, jeez.
a 12-minute show, and they paid an exorbitant rate to see it.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the owner of the strip club fired her.
So I'm seeing a pattern here,
Anyway, I was glad she was in Witches of Westwick too, because when she became notoriety, she gained notoriety again. I was able to parlay a little bit more sales out of Witches of Westwick.
Nice. I mean, do you how do you sell your movies now? Do you do it online? Do you have a distributor, or how's that working right now?
Well, it's all changed. It's all changed. Part of the budget of any movie now has to have a budget for publicity, because
Right.
there's no video stores.
Mhm.
So
Right.
word of you have to let the people know that they can go download the movie. And I'm only making family movies now because that's the only format, the kind of genre that's still on DVD.
right.
And still in Walmarts and still in Best Buys and Targets. Everything else, if you put 5 Girls in a Haunted House, you're going to end up on a DVD with 7 other movies.
Gotcha.
That
for
does make
five-
me
for
think of a question though. I have been seeing a lot of like these new Blu-ray re-releases of some of your classic movies from back in the day
Yes.
coming back out. The Blu-ray thing, the collector's edition stuff, is like a huge thing in the horror community. There's a lot of collectors.
Yeah, they're all coming out. I made arrangements. I'm doing a documentary,
Mhm.
and it's all going to come out through a company that I can't say because
Okay.
I promised them I wouldn't. But
Okay.
believe me, when I can, I'll shout it to the rooftops.
And
Okay.
we will gladly throw our money and buy it. 'Cause,
Oh, absolutely.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I've already
Yeah,
got
well-
the Swamp Thing, Return of Swamp Thing on my wish list. Got to pick that up real soon.
Oh, that's a good one. But they're doing a bunch of the others, which I'm glad.
Nice. Yeah, I actually
And,
got to watch Shopping Mall in a theater last year at a thing called
Oh, wow.
Splatterflix in North Carolina, Durham. They do it every every October for a weekend where they show a bunch of older horror movies, and they had Shopping Mall there on the big screen. I was so excited. It was amazing.
That's cool. I hope they showed the Blu-ray. So
I have no idea what cut they had. It was just amazing. That's all I know.
no, good.
Oh, yeah.
it's fun on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would
yeah.
have loved to have seen that head explosion on a big screen, man. That would have been amazing.
Oh my god, it was worth it. It was
Dude. That is one of
Yeah,
my
they-
top 5 all-time head
Back in the
explosions.
'80s, before all this hoopla with making sure trailers were G-rated, Roger Corman had me cut a trailer that was R-rated
Mhm.
for Shopping Mall, and it included the head explosion. and because he thought it was so cool. Anyway, they were running a trailer out in front of a theater, and people were just gawking at it. They were letting it play again because everybody wanted to see the head explosion again and again
Oh
and
man,
again.
it's fantastic. So great.
And again, I didn't know it was going to come out that good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to come out. It's always a shock to people who are, aren't aware of that it's coming. I credit my editor, Leslie Rosenthal,
Mm-hmm.
with cutting it perfectly.
Do you have a trust? I mean, is he like the one who you trust editing a lot of your films, or do you go to a lot of other editors, or how does that work?
Well, I have about a group of 5 different people that I go to all the time
Okay.
because they kind of have a shorthand with me.
Mm-hmm.
They know what I'm thinking, and they'll do what they think I had in mind.
Okay.
And
Will you take?
and I don't
I was wondering, do you take certain movies to certain editors, and then they do it the way you want it, or how does that work as well?
just who's available, who's needs a job, I'll call them.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Dick, didn't you work on the production of Strip Club Massacre?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did.
That's a fun
Yeah,
I
little movie.
don't know that. I don't know that one. I'm
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody does. Don't feel bad.
I know about it.
Yeah.
I'm somebody.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I got royally fucked over on that movie. We're doing all
Good
the
for you.
goddamn work. Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Now, I think I may have seen that movie. Not sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
Strip
on Amazon
Club
Prime.
Massacre.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's on-
think I did see part of that. Okay.
Oh God, that makes me happy and sad at the same time. Oh
I'll
God.
tell you how it all happened, okay? Just so you're
Yes.
the distributor of that film wanted someone I know well to make a film for that. And that someone I know well came to me and they wanted to do this car wash massacre or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, those films are not making any more money anymore. Okay. And he said, go watch this. And I watched, I must have watched 20 minutes of it until 2 girls were out in the woods and they weren't very attractive and they were kind of, is that the one I'm thinking? Should I be thinking? Is that the one I'm thinking?
There's definitely some wood scenes out there. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some wood scenes for sure. First 20 minutes. Yeah. There's some girls killing another girl in the woods. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was enough for me to say, I don't want to do anything like this. And because the girls were, I believe, unattractive. And that's being nice.
It's an important part of the formula for
Oh
those
God.
movies to
I
work.
think out of those girls that were in that scene you watch, I think 2 of them are good friends of mine, but that's fine.
Well, hopefully the ones that are friends with you weren't the 2 girls in the woods. So, and the DP, I don't think had ever shot a movie before.
That's true. I never have because I was the DP.
You were the DP?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Since we're talking about the same movie, there's a scene in the woods where everybody's supposed to be secluded, and you can plainly see there's a highway or a road just beyond the tree line.
Oh my God!
They got you there, man.
I know he did. He did. I tried so hard hiding that.
Why would you even shoot that direction? Okay.
Well, I was just a camera guy, and the director said, "Hey, shoot this direction and try to hide the highway and this, that, and the other."
Oh, try to hide the highway? Okay, sure, I'll do that.
That was my job, and with some of the shots that he wanted.
Well,
it
you didn't hide it, pal.
No, I didn't. I tried, and even then, like with the original cut, and even with the sound that I had, it was you could plainly hear it. I tried hiding it with the sound. I tried taking the sound out and putting in like forest noise and things like that and making it not so obvious.
No,
but obviously you caught me.
You could hear cars and see cars. And I said, what the fuck? Come on.
God.
Well, you know,
All right. And I'm not putting you down. Okay.
No.
You're out there, you're getting paid, and the guy, if the director says shoot that direction, then you do. You shoot that direction.
Yeah.
It's his fault, not yours.
I know not to ask questions. That's what I did. He said, shoot this direction, shoot this way. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do it. I tried my best to hide the stuff, and it didn't work out. I mean, that movie was a shit show from the beginning.
there's nothing wrong with getting a little constructive criticism from a...
Look, I don't want to. I'm not on the line here to put you guys down, but since I did recall that scene, I said, "What the fuck?" With that guy. Why would they shoot that direction?
Yeah, well, it's funny because there's even a part. Yeah, there's even a part in the movie where like the girls are facing this forest way, and if I turn the camera like 2 degrees to the left, you would have seen houses there behind them. Like we were in a housing complex.
I didn't see any houses, but I did see vehicles, and I heard vehicles too.
Damn. Well, thank you for your constructive criticism.
It's not. I'm not trying to knock you.
No. I understand. No, I understand that. Yeah.
Couldn't the director have walked another 100 feet into the woods?
Well, he had no fucking idea what he was doing. I'm just saying that.
I think it's a first time out of the gate sort of situation going on.
All right. Well.
Yeah. He thought he knew what he was doing. He didn't know what he was doing. He kept asking me questions and asking one of the actresses questions. What was her name? Oh God. Aaron Brown.
Far be it from me. Okay.
Well,
there was one hot chick in that movie. Okay. Now that I'm recalling it, she was blonde and she had a nice rack and she kind of got me through it.
Yeah, she was a real bitch to work with. Her and her little like brunette friend were both like horrible to work with.
Is that like
there you go.
Is that like a thing? It's like the hotter the girl, the more difficult it is to get shit.
No. I mean, I worked with hot chicks who were just as wonderful as you could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of them. It was hard not to keep my hands off them.
I bet. Yeah. I definitely.
But, and again, let's move along from Strip Club Massacre. Just in the future, not to shoot the highway.
Yes, noted for future reference. Do not shoot highway. Gotcha.
Okay.
So
I was going to ask you, how do you come up with the names of your films? Like you have like Cleavage Field and the Blair Witch Project. Like how do you come up with those names?
They come up in the shower most of the time.
Nice. Do you have like a little dry erase board in the shower? Just to jot notes down?
I usually I'm showering saying, "No, what the fuck am I going to make next?" And we did The Hills Have Thighs. We did Parent Knockers Activity. We did a whole shitload of them. I had fun. Then they stopped wanting them, and I But Blair Witch was a thing. I made 5 of those, and they all made money.
Yeah.
And again, those were made in two days each.
Oh my gosh!
And but my normal movies are 14 to 15 days.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's
how long did it take to do strip? How long was the Strip Club Massacre shoot?
4 months.
4 months.
4 months.
Oh, like on weekends and stuff?
Sometimes. Some weeks we'd shoot 5 days in a row. Some weeks we'd shoot one day in one scene. It was sporadic. It was a horrible learning experience, but it was a learning experience.
All right. Okay. All right. I promise not to mention it again. Okay.
No, you can ask as many questions as you want. I honestly don't. I'm fine with it. I just like it was a horrible experience.
It's nice to know that. I'm sorry the girl was a bitch, and I'm sorry there was a highway, and and I'm happy you got some experience, which is good.
Yeah, it was my first feature shooting and editing it and doing all the other like post production stuff. So,
the editing was good. The editing was solid.
Thank you.
I did enjoy it. The editing was very pro.
Thank you.
And
that means a lot.
And I just kind of. Well, I won't go over it again with where the camera was pointed.
The funny thing about that movie, though, is there's some dudes out there probably love that movie to death, and watch it once a week or something.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. But the fact that I remembered that scene meant it was a very, very memorable. Okay. I mean, who could forget that? Who could forget that?
I'm still trying to.
So, well, it's not going to happen. That's going to live with you for a while, pal.
I know it is.
All right, let's switch gears here a little bit.
Blame the director. All right, switch gears. What do you want to know?
Okay, so we'll be doing.
This is not anything about me, which I really enjoy. Okay.
Well, it's just nice to get a sense of your personality on things too, But I do want to ask
we
you.
Talk Star Wars, Strip Club Massacre. None of these movies have any meaning to me. So go ahead.
We're going to be covering Return of Swamp Thing soon on the show here, and great movie.
Okay.
Some people kind of hold that one up as almost better than the first movie in a lot of ways. You worked with Heather Locklear as a big star. It's a really fun movie.
Oh my God. What a doll she was.
Oh yeah,
what a doll. Oh yeah, we had Tommy Lee walking around the set shooting machine guns. We had, and I was going out with Monique Gabriel at the time, and so that's how she got in the movie.
Oh okay. Interesting.
And she did a good job.
Yeah.
She did a good job. I thought she, did a fine job.
Sure.
And who else is in that movie? Oh, Sarah Douglas, which is who, is she plays kind of a stiff older woman in that film, but behind the scenes, she was just a gas. I loved working with her. She's very sweet and very sexy.
Absolutely. Is there, since we're going to be talking about the movie on our next episode, is there any sort of anecdotes about shooting that film and working in the swamps and all that kind of stuff? Like
Louis Jourdan was a prick and a half. Okay, I hated his guts. Okay, and Monique Gabriel character was named Miss Poinsettia, and in the script, the villain referred to her as Points, and he says, "I will not save Points. I will not." It refers to the breast, okay? and I said, "Louis, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you just do a movie called Octopussy?" And he got so fucking mad.
Oh God.
That he stormed off the set, and I had to go apologize.
Oh man.
But it was like, come on, Louis.
Yeah, lighten up. Jeez.
Yeah, lighten up, Francis. Yeah. Anyway, Louis was a prick and a half. He stayed in his hotel room and never fraternized with anybody. Heather and the whole gang, the police were loving it because they would take us out at night in the police cars and take us to great restaurants. We'd go to the head of the line, and then they'd, go around, take us around. And it was the greatest. Okay. It was like 110 every day, but we had a good time.
That's good.
Good memories there. That's awesome, man. Nick, you want to throw something out?
I was going to say.
Well, yeah, when we lit the swamp at night, we had these Musco lights that had to go up to light the entire swamp, and we had to pull them down every hour because there was a million moths and flies and mosquitoes that would thing and black out the light. and we had to hire 2 guys with rifles to shoot alligators.
Holy shit! Yeah,
Holy shit is right.
yeah. I thought everybody was kind of on edge, you know. Like,
And I mean, we fenced in the swamp with barbed wire in the daytime, and then shot some of the night footage so that they couldn't get in.
oh wow.
But it was like you'd be walking around in waders, and you'd hit a stump or something, and boy, you'd jump right out of the water.
Oh man, I would be paranoid as hell.
Yeah. Yeah,
Kidding me?
forget that.
I'd be like,
It looked good though. Looked good on set. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we had like tons of dry ice we threw in there, and it really made it look good.
yeah. I actually heard they had to do that on Friday the 13th. 7 New Blood. Like they had to have a guy out there to be on the lookout for dangerous reptilians. You know.
Oh god, that's
Well, whatever the case, we had 2 guys sitting on big rocks with guns, and you know, sometimes you'd turn around, you'd see a red eye out in the past the fencing,
Yeah.
and you knew that was some wily gator ready to come right in and have lunch. So
Absolutely.
did any break the line, or did any come in, or did they ever have to shoot them
No.
or whatever?
no,
Oh, okay.
nope. But one guy said, "Okay, fire in the hole," and he got up and shot a gator
Oh,
in the water who was trying to get over the fence, and he was shot and I assume died. But we shot at night. You know, it was a lot of fun.
would you
And,
say would you say that was the movie that you had the most fun on?
No, the most fun I had making a movie was Transylvania Twist, which not
Okay.
many people have seen. Not many people have seen it, but it was a horror comedy parody, and I was working with so many comedians, and I couldn't help but laugh all day because the comedians would try to make me laugh, and they succeeded. I mean, I had Howard Morris from the Andy Griffith Show. I had Jay Robinson from The Robe. I had, oh my God, just Steve Franken from The Party. And they were all there. They were all happy to be working and making me laugh. So, and the hot chicks on that show were just, oh my God. We had Terry Copley from, We Got Her Laid. And who else? I had Monique Gabrielle. I had Tony Naples. I had a whole slew of hot babes on that one.
You
It was a lot
ever?
of fun.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that one again. It's been a little while, but it's always good when you put a project together with people that you like, and that's why I think a lot of these like production crews they kind of stick together from project to project because they know the people and they have a good time, and it just makes it so much easier to do a project when you're with the people that kind of like your little family or whatever, and have fun.
Yeah, well, I have certain people I go back to again and again, and for music or editing or DP, I don't use the same guy every time, but I try to use one on my team
Yeah,
every time.
yeah. You're still good friends with Chuck Serino, right? You guys still
Yes,
pal
I am.
around? Yeah. He is incredible.
He scored the last 3 doggone movies for Sony.
Oh, okay.
Did an incredible job. He scored Swamp Thing, of course, and Now This Earth, and Big Bad Mama 2, and Deathstalker 2, and Chopping Mall.
Oh yeah, the
scored
chopping
a lot
block
of-
scored incredibly good. I love it, man. It's just electric,
It's very synthy, but I like it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, that's
it's evocative of the time.
exactly. But that's what
And,
makes it perfect for that movie, though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder if they're gonna. I was gonna say, I wonder if they're gonna do a vinyl release like they've done to some other older horror movies. They've done vinyl releases of the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
They already have.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Got to
I
get it
think
now.
I've seen
Got
it
it.
floating around out there.
It's got the worst cover in the world, but it's out. Okay.
Did you?
They did a vinyl for Return of Swamp Thing. They did a vinyl for Lost Empire. They did a vinyl for Chopping Mall. So yeah, things, and I believe they're coming out with 976 Evil 2 and Ghoulies 4.
Nice.
That's what Chuck told me.
Excellent. Yeah,
So-
Chuck is a talented guy, man. Anytime I see his name come up in the credits, I'm like, it's going to be some good music here, man. In for a good time. So it's cool that you guys have stayed friends and just been working together, making all these films over the years.
We've been friends for decades. So it's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. Lots of different movies, and it's been a lot of fun. And I don't see it ending yet. So I'm about to do a documentary about some of my movies, and I'm also starting another one with Cindy Lucas. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's a very, bountiful girl, and she wants to do a movie, and
Excellent.
we're going to do it.
Great.
We're going to do it. So there you go.
Awesome,
That's all
man.
the news.
Nick, you want to throw anything else out before we wrap this up and let Jim get on his way and do his thing?
Yeah. How many movies have you done this year so far?
This year so far, none.
Oh, okay.
None. I mean, I did. Wait a minute, I did one. I don't know. I keep track of time,
Yeah.
I think I did one. I think it might be Doggone Adventure.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't know when I delivered that. It's like, it must have been last. I think I delivered it this year.
Okay. Okay.
I shot partly last year.
Yeah, and you're starting your documentary, I assume, this year as well?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's going to start very soon.
Very cool.
And then Cindy's movie will be soon too. And then I have another dog movie which I'm starting. So
Very nice.
but right now I'm kicking back and I'm having a good old time. It's summertime.
Hell yeah.
I'm having a good old time. So I thank you.
Yeah.
Please don't hate for that remark about Strip Club Massacre.
Oh, that was golden. That's so great.
It was.
Listen,
it was
Jim,
gold.
Jim, I want to say, you're such a cool dude. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us and, letting us get a little gnarly here and there and,
All right.
a little left of center and having some fun and just for being real, man. I hope you keep making movies and I will be watching for sure.
All right, great. Don't bleep those curse words.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, man.
I'm leaving it all in,
Okay.
even the botched beginning and everything.
The botch week.
It's all staying in. That's podcast.
All
galore,
right.
man.
Well, great. Have a nice night, guy, and a good weekend. And I'll catch you guys later. Okay.
Absolutely,
thank you,
man. Cheers. All right. Dude, that was amazing. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Even the part in the beginning with I don't know how that happened. I must have clicked my number by accident. That's just fucking great. Because, you can't plan something like that. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be ridiculous, but I'm going to listen to it and see how bad it is. If it's really annoying, then I'll just take it out. But I think that interview went really good, man. It was a lot of fun.
It did, man. It did.
You got some really good questions in there, and I like to, I turned it on its head a little bit. Maybe I probably should have eased into it a little bit, but hey, whatever, fuck it. He's a good sport, so, yeah, dude. Like, what are your thoughts, man? What do you think about how that went? What do you think about Jim and his?
Yeah, the interview went well. I was surprised. I was like, when he mentioned Strip Club Massacre, I freaked the fuck out. I was like, oh my god, he watched it.
Well,
how awful and amazing is that?
Oh, I know. That's why I was like, that's why I would purposely wanted to bring it up, because I wanted to see if he was aware of it, and I want you guys to be able to talk about that, because I knew that would be something that you probably wouldn't want to. I don't know if you would necessarily bring that up if you wanted to talk about it. So I wanted to bring it up and see if he had any comments or had any thoughts about it. And
oh man,
that was amazing, dude. I mean, that must be so. I wish I was sitting in your shoes right now, because
oh god, it's weird. I mean, like, yeah, I fucked up on that scene. That's entirely true. I'm not gonna lie about that. That was a fuck.
He's like, I don't think the DP had any idea what he's doing.
He's like, yeah. He finds out I'm the DP.
Oh, dude, that was fucking.
Oh
great.
shit.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, I understand. It was my first movie. I mean, I get it. I'm not perfect. I understand.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
I mean, that's how all new projects are. When you first do a big thing and you're starting out, it's like, you got to make mistakes, and that's how you learn, and that's how you grow as an artist. So I mean, there's no shame in it at all. God knows I've tried to do things and bombed or didn't do as good of a job as I could have, but apply the knowledge of the learning, the learning curve that I had on the last project to the new thing, and it always is up better. So, hey, you get a fucking critique from the man himself,
I know. Yeah, that was really awesome.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Fantastic, and he almost gave us a whole hour too, which was really cool.
I know. Well, yeah. Once we got him talking some stuff, I knew he'd be like, yeah, 30 minutes. Is like, no, we'll get a little more out of you. Come on now.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to give him what he asked for, and I just went right for the kill with the first question, and then, then it was kind of like, ooh, that might have been coming on a little bit too strong, and then my fucking voicemail cuts in. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, but you know what? It's going in. I have to leave it in. It's too good. It's too good to be true. You know what I mean? But shit, man, what a super nice guy for giving us his time and. For wanting to hang out, and I think he just generally like he loves fans, he loves what he does, and he loves to talk about himself.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen him every now and again at conventions here and there. Like he'll just be, he'll be at like, Chicago or Indianapolis or whatever, doing some convention or whatever, and I'm just like, and it's really weird because usually you get comic book people there, this and the other, and like he's there, and it's like, how many people will know him? Does he have a line, or is he just kind of like sitting there twiddling his thumbs? I wonder.
Yeah.
Because if I knew he was going to be at a convention that I was going to be even in the vicinity to, I would rush there with every like DVD, VHS tape, and Blu-ray I have, and I was like, sign all of these and tell me everything.
God. I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would. Yeah. He seems like that kind of guy. I mean, the dude, I just messaged him on Facebook to do this interview, and in like the next day, he just gives me his phone number. His personal phone number. And I was supposed to send him a message on Thursday to remind him. I forgot to do that. So I just called him today out of the blue, like an hour before the interview. And he's like, hey, what's up? This is Jim. I'm like, hey, Jim, this is Josh from R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast. He's like, let me think for a minute. So remind me again who you are. I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, oh, yeah, I messaged you on Facebook about doing an interview, and you just said, that you would, and that we were going to do it this Friday at 9. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. He's just a normal, down-to-earth guy, and that's amazing. I love that,
Yeah. But no, it was, that was pretty awesome, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a memorable podcast for sure.
For damn sure.
Oh my God. I can't wait I'm going to have to listen back to it right away after we get off. And dude, also thank you so much for, coming on the show. I mean, we don't really know each other that well or anything. We just met, and I just knew, because you had a real interest in this area of film and stuff, that you'd be a good fit, especially since Matt couldn't do the show tonight. So, dude, you stepped up to the plate and you delivered, man. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up with these movies, man. I grew up literally 5 minutes from a video store that had everything. It wasn't a corporate one. It was like kind of a mom and pop shop.
Right.
So like the dude had everything. He had his little porno section in the back and stuff. Like, like that's what he had.
With the little saloon doors and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, dude. Either was the saloon doors or it was like the velvet drapes you had like to like part and get in there.
Yeah.
It was one of the two always. It's that's how it always was.
Dude, I remember being a little kid and like looking at that and being like, I really want to go in there, and like knowing that you couldn't go in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's definitely a thing of the past, man. You don't see that much anymore, but
yeah. I know where I used to live in Tennessee. I think it's in Sevierville. There's a Popcorn Video that still does that thing, but they have DVDs instead and Blu-rays and stuff you can rent and stuff. So you still have that feel. It's still there, but it's like only in that area where. I think it's useful because you have a lot of people who, don't want a good Redbox or still want to support this local business. And that place has been there. Every time I go back, I rent like some really odd shit they have just to watch it, So I enjoy their stuff.
Oh yeah, totally, man. I miss those little mom and pop VHS stores or movie stores or whatever. And
yeah,
small town USA maybe, but not not on the coasts anymore. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, I know. Here in Atlanta now we have a Videodrome. That it's small from what I'm used to, from what I was used to as a kid, but they still got videos and stuff like that. They have a very interesting way of curating their stuff. They have like the newer kind of like they'll have one or two of the newer things, but barely anything. they kind of go into like the artsy stuff. They have, I think, in their back room, they have like it's pretty much done by director. Like they'll have the director section of stuff, you know, there, and then they have like a really odd horror section, which I love, and I go through and I check all the time, and they have really obscure things there, so it makes me happy.
That's awesome, dude. Before we wrap this up, let's talk about World Class Bullshitters, dude. That shit's like blowing up on the internet, man. People are fucking shit's catching fire. I mean, it's a really good podcast, but it just seems like lately it's been a landslide of subscribers on YouTube and people listening, and you guys are doing a lot of interesting stuff. So what's going on with that show?
What's going on is that it's pretty much become a full-time job for everybody now. Wednesday we did a commentary. Thursday we did the normal podcast. I did this interview right now, and then after this I have to go do a Patreon hangout with one of our Patreons. Saturday we're finishing up our Star Wars I guess watch party thing with Return of the Jedi.
Right.
It's been insane. Just the number of subscribers. Like I run the Twitter and like the Instagram and kind of the Facebook a little bit. It's just insane the amount of stuff that we're getting all the time. Like it is ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Well, I think you're one of those channels out there. You guys are talking and having conversations in a way that connects with fans of the certain, especially the Star Wars stuff. I think you guys have an emphasis on right now because it's such a big thing right now, and people need to hear and talk about it in an honest way. And you can tell that you guys are just all buddies, and you speak to each other in a way that's sort of like to have this transparent honesty to it, and it's not like you guys are angling for something or being ambitious in a way that you're quote unquote shilling for people and stuff, and that's a really attractive thing. That's what brought me to you guys' channel and stuff. So,
oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
and I mean, we were friends before this. Like I'm sure Jeff has told you, like we met at doing doing conventions and being vendors at horror conventions and stuff like that. And then we just kind of like would just talk to each other all the time on the internet and stuff. We'd probably see each other a couple times a year, and then he's like, let's start a podcast. And it's like, oh, I know how to do that because I did one years ago called Scary Drunk, which I sold the audio files for, and I doubt it's still online anywhere. It was me and my good friend Scotty. We would get drunk and watch shitty movies, or we would watch all of them and get drunk and review them on our podcast, and it was okay. We were kind of sporadic in the uploads and things like that. It was all right. It never really went anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's really hard to get one of these things off the ground, even with all the outlets. It's just so much content out there. It's hard for people to find you. I think once you got something good and people zero in on it, though, it starts to take on a life of its own, and then it's sort of your job to steer the ship. But man, you guys are doing really good. I'm really happy for you, and I'll be listening. I'm a Patreon. I give you guys $1 a month.
Thank you for that. Honestly, really, I'm not being sarcastic. I really thank you for that. We really do.
Yeah,
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just being very genuine. Thank you for your contribution to us because of those contributions we get to do cool shit. So
yeah, I mean, hey, if I had more to give, I would. You guys deserve it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, like, yeah, we have a lot of people who are, we have some fans that'll like tweet us or message us like, oh man, I can't give you guys any money. And we're always like, that's fine. Just like continue, please. All we ask is that if you like our stuff, please continue to share it. That's all we ask. You know,
absolutely.
As long as you're sharing the stuff, that helps us out a lot. We understand not everybody has
disposable income
and things like that. So that's fine. Just the very least we ask you is just share our stuff. That's it.
Cool, man. Well, give us your outlets. Give us your YouTube, right?
Yeah, it is World Class Bullshitters on YouTube. It is World Class BS on Twitter. It is, I think it's the World Class BS on Twitter. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Come on now, phone.
You guys are definitely on iTunes as well. We're on iTunes.
Yeah. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. I think we're on Stitcher.
Yeah.
We're everywhere, and it's ridiculous. Okay, yeah, we're the World Class BS on Twitter. Let's see, on Instagram.
Yeah, just go ahead, man. Put it all out there. Let people know.
Okay, we're World Class BS on Instagram, and then we have our 2 Facebook pages. If you type us in, you'll find us. So yeah. That's where we are, and I hope people start subscribing to more and more to your channel as well, because you guys have amazing content. You guys do
thanks,
the horror commentaries that I love.
Yeah,
you've done Summer Party Massacre, which is my favorite fucking movie.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
I listened to that a while ago, and I fucking love it. I thought it was entertaining as shit. So
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a slow thing. You know how? I mean, we're a primary YouTube channel. We're also on horrorphilia.com. We got picked up by them at the beginning of the year, and so we've been transferring a lot of content over there and putting new stuff up over there for people to listen to. And we're also on iTunes and stuff like that as well. So little by little, we're starting to get a little bit of momentum. Still in our early days. But, you know, we do try to put out stuff that people can relate to with honesty behind it. And, you know, just have a good time. And it's a little bit, you know, it's one of those things where you can check out. It's escapism. And, you know, we don't get too serious. It's very tongue-in-cheek, as you can see by this interview. And, yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, man. As soon as you told me it's like, you know, come on and do a commentary or talk to us, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm there. And then you said we're interviewing Jim Wynorski. I was like, when and where? Like, where do I have to be for this?
Oh yeah, dude, you were right front and center for that shit, and yeah, it was a good fit. I think it worked really well. So, yeah, dude. Well, I'll be in touch if you ever want to come back on, do another commentary with us, or do a commentary with us rather. You're more than welcome anytime because this is a communal spot for people, fans, and for people with other podcasts to come over and just share in the delight of horror films.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
All right, dude. Well, have a good night. I'll talk to you later, all right?
All right.
All right, later.